Hello everyone, it's Stefan here, the Photo Book Guru, and today I'm going to talk to you about the well-awaited AdoramaPix books. I'm sorry it took so long to make this review, but I had a very big problem with this company because for 1 year I kept emailing them to send me a book to the UK. However, they said policy is policy and they only ship to the US and Canada. However, a few months ago I went to Chicago and I met my very good friend Julie, and I managed to get the books delivered to her, and now I have them in my hands and I can talk about them. So, a few words about the company. It's an American company, it's located in New York, they have a few shops in New York. They started off by catering only for professionals, but recently they have opened their doors to a more wider general public, and now all of us can order books from them as long as you live in the US or Canada. The books are high quality, they use very good materials and state-of-the-art technology, so they are a bit more expensive than your average photo books, but for a good reason, and you will not be disappointed with the quality. So that's the book basically. Let me just give you a quick peek before I talk anymore. It's made from my recent pictures to Hong Kong. And there's just a few pages. Obviously it's completely Layflat, as you expect it to be from AdoramaPix. They only do Layflat books, they don't do any perfect bound books, and they are very proud of that. Besides these Layflat books, the company also does loads of flush mount books, which are a lot more expensive, but they also look a lot more elegant and more luxurious. The difference between Layflat and flush mount can be confusing, especially with some companies who kind of have hybrids in between. Layflat means that the book opens completely flat and the pages are printed as a double spread and they are stuck together, so nothing is getting lost in the gutter and you can have nice double spread layouts. Flush mount is basically the same, however a PVC sheet or any other material is inserted in between the pages, making them extremely strong and rigid, and that's what gives it impressive looks. Before I go into my usual up-close shots to show you the cover, binding, paper quality, etc., let me just say that I was very happy with the books and I was very surprised at the abundance of choice in every single aspect of the book. There were so many sizes to choose from in many orientations, 6 different paper types, really good cover options, and also this is the first company which kind of combines amazing themes with amazing printing, because most companies that use silver halide printing usually have very basic themes, because their ideology is that if you use silver halide and you're creating a photo album, you want mostly just full bleed photos in your book, you don't want lots of elements and funky themes. However, some people like me like to have both, and this is one of the first companies that I have seen which combines the two. So you've got the amazing themes that you can get at Shutterfly or Mixbook, but you can also have the great advantage of having silver halide books. So let's get into my usual up-close shots, and then I will come back and talk to you about delivery, full price, deals, and also the pros and cons of the book. So this is the box I got with the book. It's a beige color and you obviously have to pay for it as an extra. So it was in an outer box, but I couldn't take it with me because it was too big for my suitcase. So let's see what's inside. So you've got this little sheet on the top which says everything about your book, and then we've still got a little wrapping, and there we go. Come out. So let's start with the sizes. There is such an abundance of sizes. You've got anything from small to large, medium, in all kinds of orientations. This book is an 8x8 inch book, so it's a square one, but it also comes in 6x7.5, 6x9, 8x10, 12x8, 10x12x5, 12x15, 6x4.5, it's a mini book, 12x6, 12x9, 6x6, 10x10, 12x12, and 6x12 for panorama photos. Now let's go on to the cover. As you can see, this is a linen cover book. So that's how it looks. It's basically linen on the back, on the front, and on the spine as well. And what you can pay for is to get letters embossed on the front. I think you can have 2 lines here and 2 little subtitles in the bottom, and each line I think costed $8 if I'm not mistaken, so you have to pay for each line separately. Now the options you've got for the cover are hardcover, softcover, linen and leather. So you've got basically 4 options for all the books, and that applies to all the sizes. And the linen comes in several colours that you can choose from. I chose the beige because I like it, and let's have a closer look at it. So you can see the letters are silver, and I think you can also have the option to have them in gold. And there's nothing on the spine, and there's nothing on the back. There's no logo or anything like that. Sometimes it's nicer to choose one of these as opposed to an image, but you know, it's really up to you. I'm very happy with it, and I can't see any fault anywhere, so a job really well done. Let's go on to the binding. As you know, all AdoramaPix books are basically Layflat, and some of their range, the more expensive books, are flush mount, but the basic books are all Layflat, so it's not an option that you have to pay for. It's the basic binding of the books. Now Layflat obviously means that the pages are printed as a double spread layout and they are stuck together, so it's seamless. And let's start at the very front. You've got a flyleaf here, a double spread, a wide double spread, which I really like when a book doesn't start right on the first page. And then you've got the pages coming in, and let's just give you a quick flip through. Okay, so as you can see, there's nothing getting lost in the middle, and it opens perfectly flat. And on the last page, you've got again a double spread page, and here you've got the company logo and a little info. For a very small fee you can get rid of the logo, which is very good. So let's have a look at the top section, because this is very important as well. Now as you can see, there is a lovely little fabric touch to the spine, which is always a nice thing to do. It makes it look a bit more elegant and high-end, and obviously it's the same at the bottom as well. When you open it completely, that's how the pages open. So you can see, nice, there's no folder anywhere and no problems at all. Let's just try to give you a closer look. That's it. So all you have to remember, seamless Layflat, nothing getting lost in the gutter, nice spine, pretty sturdy, and just perfect as it is. So let's go on to the paper. Now this is where you're going to absolutely love AdoramaPix. They cater for every single need. They have 6 different paper options for all of their books. You can choose luster, deep matte, glossy, silk, pebble, and even fabric. So really whatever you like, you're going to find it and you can apply it to your book. Now I chose luster because it's obviously the most versatile paper, and it looks very good with landscapes and travel books. So let's have a look at the quality of that. As you can see, there is a subtle sheen like you would expect from all lustrous papers, and it is very smooth. There is a very light and very subtle sandy texture, but not so obvious as with some other luster papers. And hopefully it's visible here as well on the camera. I'm going to put a picture here so you can see it better. There we go. So very smooth, very subtle lustrous texture, and if you don't like this you can obviously go for a completely high gloss paper, or if you don't want this subtle glare you can go for the matte, the deep matte option. Next, printing. The company uses only silver halide printers and they're very proud of this. They have lots of comparisons on the website showing what an average book looks like and what their books look like, and how different silver halide treats colors as opposed to digital printers and also about the binding. So all of these books are printed using a silver halide method, which by now you should know that is very, very good with skin tones. It's very true to the original colors, and it's very good with tone transitions. You wouldn't see any digital dot artifacts. It's basically a continuous transition between the shades, and it has a much stronger dynamic range. So if you look at this, you can see how nice the warm colors came out, and here in the black and white, the blacks look really deep, and there is a very strong dynamic contrast between the shadows and the highlights. I didn't notice any oversaturation or any problem like that. Everything seemed very accurate. If there's one thing that I could say is, obviously this is true for all silver halide books, but this one is just a tiny bit softer than some of the other silver halide books, and that's not a problem obviously, and it's very hard to see it from this distance. But if you look at the small details, especially in buildings or architecture, you know, where you have to really pinpoint things out, then you see that it's a little bit more blurred. But again, if you have portrait photography, weddings or anything like that, then you'll be very, very happy because it's very natural looking and it's very good with the tones. Again, you can see the blacks come out really, really well. And you can see the lustrous texture again on the sheen. So very happy with the printing. Just bear in mind it's a tiny bit softer, so if you want to include pictures which require very, very crisp clarity, you might want to consider this. Obviously it's not a printing problem, it's an attribute of silver halide printing, but it's just worth mentioning. So finally, let's go on to the themes. AdoramaPix is really special in a way that most of the silver halide companies usually think of their books as albums, and their themes are not exactly up to date with the competition, so therefore the themes are usually very simple. However, AdoramaPix kind of combine the two. So if you think about Mixbook or Shutterfly and their amazing themes and AdoramaPix's amazing print quality, they combine the two together. It's very rare when you see such good editing options in silver halide books, so I had to really mention that. Again, just have a look at the photos and the layouts. These are all templates in the editor, and you can also have these little elements and PNGs and things like that, little plane and collect memories. So very, very similar to Mixbook and Shutterfly, but you also get the silver halide printing option and the amazing paper options and quality, so it combines everything together. To my knowledge, it only works on a desktop editor, so you can't do any of the editing on your smartphone. It has to be done on the computer. So, delivery. The books were delivered very quickly and it was trackable, and it costed $6 within the United States. I'm not sure how much it costs to get them to Canada, but in the US it was $6, trackable within a couple of days. The full price of the book was $52, and that's basically for an 8x8 inch linen cover Layflat book. It's not the flush mount book, it's a Layflat book. Very often they have deals on 20, 30, maybe sometimes 40% off. Obviously from now on, whenever I see any of these deals, they are going to be on my blog on thephotoboogguru.com/deals. So if you're looking for any AdoramaPix deals, come to my blog and I try to have the latest ones there all the time. What are the pros and cons of the book? Well, the things that I loved about the book are pretty much obvious from the up-close shots. The abundance of sizes, the abundance of paper options, you have everything you can imagine, and also it has a really good build. Everything was made to a high standard in this book. There was nothing that I could complain about, and the thing that I was happiest about, strangely enough, was the ability to use such amazing themes that you can't really get from other silver halide books. What I didn't like so much about the book was just a couple of things. One of them was what I mentioned, that it's a tiny bit softer than the other silver halide books, and I wouldn't say this necessarily as a con because it works really well on portrait pictures, but it might not be the best option for all kinds of photo books. So if you have things that require very intricate detail, then that's something to consider before you buy any of these books. You might want to go digital, or you might want to go for a silver halide book that has a bit stronger contrast. The second thing I didn't like so much was overpricing the embossed letters on the front. I think having 5 words on the front shouldn't cost $32. It's a little bit too expensive. It's almost the price of the book. It's just my opinion. I don't know what technology goes into it. I don't know how much it costs, but it cannot cost that much. It's just the title. So it's a little bit expensive in my opinion. And the last thing, which again has nothing to do with the book, but I think this company has been talked about so much all around the world. It wouldn't be the end of the world to, you know, charge a bit more for delivery and get these books delivered to the rest of the world, because people like them, people hear about them, and they want to try them out. But again, that's nothing to do with the book. It's just something about the company. We live in a globalized world where it's much easier nowadays to get things from abroad. These books are going to be amazing basically for any occasion. If you do weddings, if you do babies, if you do holidays, if you do portfolios or any kind of professional work, you're going to benefit from the high quality of the book. If you would like to see any more up-close images of this book, I always have a written form version of this video review on my blog, thephotobooksguru.com. If you want to see any more of my travel photography from Hong Kong or anywhere else from the world I've been to, you can follow me on Instagram, Guy Around the World, follow me on Facebook, and thank you for watching. Subscribe for more.